Okay, you know what? We can get started.
Okay.
Because instead of waiting forever, can I just ask everybody to mute if you're not speaking at the moment? Because we do have a lot of static. So let's get started, and the other members can just join in when they come. So I'd like to welcome everybody to the afternoon session of the Staten Island Borough Board Budget Consultations. So taking attendance at this moment, we do have a quorum. We're just waiting for Councilwoman Hanks' representative and CB1 to join. So let's just get started now. And just move right into the presentations, and then we'll take care of for the board members, we'll take care of our housekeeping issues at the end after everybody goes so that they can leave and we can just do them. So first up, we have Richmond County Orchestra and Riverside Opera Company. Alan Aurelia will be presenting. Alan, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Okay, can you hear me? Great. Okay, so I'm Alan Aurelia, and I founded the Riverside Opera Company 26 years ago, and the Richmond County Orchestra 24 years ago. And they both have their own board of directors. They're separate 501c3s. And goodness, where should I start? Our home has been the music hall at Snug Harbor for over 25 years. And of course, as you know, the music hall has been closed. So we've been searching and successfully producing concerts throughout the 3 districts, although we always have. So since the pandemic, we've been, during the pandemic, during lockdown, actually, we didn't stop producing. We actually, because it's a professional orchestra and professional opera company, we kept our performers being paid throughout the lockdown by producing virtual at a distance productions. So we kept everything going throughout the pandemic. And then once the lockdown ended, we started going outdoors again. And we performed at the Alice Austin House, and performed at the Conference House. And then we're going indoors again in October at St. Teresa's Church, and then at St. John's University. And our next scheduled concert is on March 27th at the JCC, the Borough Community Center at the JCC. So I hope you can all come. Do you have any questions?
Do any of the board members have any questions for Alan? Alan, you're getting away easy this time. Thank you for presenting. Okay, moving right along, we have the Noble Maritime Collection. Ciro Galino Jr. will be presenting. Ciro, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ciro, the director of the Noble Maritime Collection, a constituent museum at Snug Harbor Cultural Center. Thank you for the opportunity to address the Borough Board. I welcome the newest elected officials, Borough President Pasella, Councilmember Carr, and Councilmember Hanks, and the representatives from their offices. I look forward to working with each of you and continuing to work with Councilmember Borelli, his staff, and the community boards to bring arts education to the people of our borough. The Noble Maritime Collection is in service to the public, so I invite each of you to reach out to us to help meet the needs of the people in your districts, especially through partnerships with schools and senior centers. Projects that fill gaps in arts education are the most rewarding for us and the beneficiaries. This past year, we developed La Capitana Dice, our first bilingual education program for English language learners at PS 19 in Port Richmond. We brought our unique workforce development program, Maritime Careers of New York Harbor, to elementary and junior high school students with praise from the Port Authority's Council on Port Performance. As we've been doing since 2008, we delivered specially adapted arts education to the students on the spectrum at PS 373 in Randall Manor through cultural after-school programs. And with funding from Councilmember Borelli, we are bringing music education to special education students at IS 25 in Huguenot. The Noble Maritime Collection is dedicated to the life and work of artist and sailor John A. Noble, who believed that art should be accessible to all. The centerpiece of the museum is his houseboat studio. Exhibitions interpret his art, New York's working waterfront, and the histories of Salis Neck Harbor and Robins Rift Lighthouse. The museum has been open since the end of the lockdown in 2020, and in addition to continuing to serve our audience virtually, we have been building back our in-person audience. In 2021, the museum served more than 14,000 people, half of which were in person, and while that is down 22% from the pre-pandemic high of 18,000, it is nonetheless a success given all the challenges that our community has faced. We're optimistic about this year, and we will open a major new exhibition about the Italian ocean liner Andrea Doria in June. The Noble is grateful for past discretionary funding from Borough Hall to offset costs associated with operating the museum, and we would very much appreciate if Borough President Fasella would consider the museum for such funding later this fiscal year. The staff has submitted FY23 discretionary funding requests to Councilmember Borelli to continue our music education program at IS 25, and again to work with seniors at the South Shore Jewish Community Center through the Department for the Aging. In the past, we presented them with programs that focus on diverse stories in maritime history, and later this spring, the subject will be 15th century Jewish pirates. Untold Stories in Maritime History will also be brought to the general public through our popular lecture series, conducted in person and online via our Noble on Watch platform, through which individual programs can reach upwards of 5,000 people. Topics for FY23 include Empress of China, a talk about the first American trading ship to sail from New York to Canton in 1784. We have submitted a formal request for discretionary funding to Councilmember Hanks for these lectures, as well as our full roster of public programs, which also includes monthly sea shanty sessions led by the Folk Music Society of New York, and Close Knit, which is a monthly knitting program which produces hundreds of hats, scarves, and blankets, which are donated to local families in need. We've also respectfully asked Councilmember Hanks to fund our CASA program with PS 373, which after 14 years is one of our most enduring and impactful partnerships. It brings creative and cognitive and social benefits to the students on the spectrum. Finally, the Noble Maritime Collection has made an FY23 capital request to the Borough President, Mayor, and Department of Cultural Affairs for $550,000 for an urgent upgrade to the museum's air conditioning system and chiller. At over 25 years old, the system is past its useful life and uses a refrigerant that has been phased out by the EPA. So a new system would be energy efficient and environmentally friendly. And of course, proper climate control is crucial to the museum's ability to preserve its collections and serve the public. I know this is one of many capital needs at Snug Harbor Cultural Center, and I urge our elected officials to give great consideration to them all, as these architecturally significant buildings not only house important cultural organizations such as this museum, Art Lab, the Newhouse Gallery, Staten Island Museum, and the Staten Island Children's Museum, but they are also national historic landmarks in dire need of our attention so that they're preserved for future generations. So our organizations enjoy a collaborative relationship unlike ever before, and what benefits the site benefits us all. I'm super happy to be working with the new director here, Jessica. And so on behalf of the Noble Maritime Collection, thank you for this opportunity to testify.
Thank you, Ciro. Ciro, just from my point of view for a question. So you said you put in the capital request for $550,000. I don't have access yet into that capital system. Hopefully I'm getting it within this week. Is that between the borough president and the council, or is that $550 just for the borough president?
It's not $550 just for the borough president. It's $150 for the borough president and the balance for DCA and the mayor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do any of the other board members have any questions for Ciro? Okay, thank you very much, Ciro. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along. Speaking on behalf of the Staten Island Culturals, we have Jessica Vodor. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Borough President Fasella, members of the Staten Island Borough Board, and community leaders. My name is Jessica Baker Vodor, and I am the new president and CEO of Snug Harbor's Cultural Center and Botanical Garden. And today I'm here representing the 5 Staten Island members of the city's cultural institutions group. And on behalf of Historic Richmond Town, Staten Island Children's Museum, Staten Island Museum, Staten Island Zoo, and Snug Harbor, thank you for giving us this opportunity to address you all. As the stewards of city-owned buildings and public spaces, the Staten Island CIGs provide accessible and diverse cultural experiences. We are key to attracting both residents and tourists to our neighborhoods. We infuse our communities with education and cultural vibrancy and offer spaces for restful contemplation and active engagement. We are the home of Staten Island's history, and we steward the island's unique cultural and environmental assets and bring joy to residents and visitors alike. Now, during the pandemic, culture never closed. Instead, we went virtual and developed online programs that kept our communities informed, connected, and entertained. Yet, large and small, indoors and outdoors, the pandemic hit us all hard. From fiscal year 19 to fiscal year 21, the Staten Island CIGs saw a collective decline of $2.6 million in spending, and we welcomed 477,000 fewer visitors to our organizations. We slashed expenses and furloughed staff. And today, our organizations are open, yet we are nowhere near our level of pre-pandemic financial performance. Nevertheless, we continue to partner with the city to serve our communities, working with human service agencies, schools, senior centers, and food banks to meet the urgent and ongoing needs of New Yorkers. Now, Mayor Adams recently has proposed a 3% peg for city budget lines, and although the CIGs are held harmless in this cut, we are part of a broader cultural ecosystem that has already been devastated financially and is just beginning to recover. These cuts will affect the city's entire cultural sector. And we will again galvanize New York's recovery as we did in 2001 and 2008. But the robust city support is essential to provide employment and vigorous programming and address the critical infrastructure needs of the city's properties. Staten Island deserves world-class, safe, and accessible organizations. In my written testimony, and in the interest in time, I'm editing, I've provided you all with the brief highlights of each of the Staten Island members of the Cultural Institutions Group, and I encourage you all to please review the incredible impact that our Staten Island culturals create. In conclusion, the 5 Staten Island CIGs are vital resources to our borough and city. We provide essential services to children, families, and seniors of all income levels every day. We ask for your support and for your advocacy to protect the city funding that is so crucial to our daily operations, because without the full recovery of New York City's cultural sector, our great city's recovery will not be complete. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Jessica, just for Snug, because like I said, once again, I still don't have access to that. I'm sure Snug has a capital request that they're submitting?
Yes, we do. We will, and thank you, Ciro, also for acknowledging the dire need of all of our buildings at Snug Harbor. We have 2 requests this year. We're requesting support for stormwater system improvements that were part of the capital project scope development funded by the city. There is a request for all parties, city council members, and also the borough president office and the mayor to support that project. And we are also making a second request for interior work in the music hall to finish out the restoration of that much beloved space.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else have any questions for any of the board members? Have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Do you have a time frame when the theater will be reopened? I used to go there all the time, plays, activities. The price was fabulous. The entertainment was fabulous. And there's been a very big void on Staten Island without it being back in service. Do you have any time frame for this?
Absolutely. Our aim right now is because of some issues that happened with the construction of the annex, the hall actually has experienced some damage that does need to be addressed, which is part of our ask in this fiscal year. So our timeline, we're aiming with a hopeful reopening of the hall in fall of 24. However, in the short term, our goal is to activate programming, to activate the new annex, which is reaching substantial completion, we believe, this summer. So our hope is to be able to leverage that and start bringing outdoor performances and a greater amount of programming to the campus as soon as this fall.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Do any of the other board members have any questions? Okay, thank you, Jessica. I just want to announce that CB1 has joined us, and I know you probably see me going back and forth on my phone. I'm not actually texting while, and Councilwoman Hanks's office is trying to get on, but they're having some problems getting on. So, just know that if they're not able to get on, we have copies of all the testimony, and we will make sure that it gets to them. Okay, moving right along, we have Northfield CommunityLDC. We have Kathleen Bielsa. Kathleen, the floor is yours.
Thanks so much for putting me in here, and thank you to everyone on the borough board and the borough president's office. I am Kathleen Bielsa from Northfield CommunityLDC, the acting executive director, and we're always grateful for the support that we receive from borough president's office and all the elected officials. We appreciate the opportunity to talk about our successes and priorities for this year. Northfield serves the entire borough with our weatherization services and home repairs, which we have from time to time funding for that. And also the housing counseling services we provide island-wide. Economic development, community development activities are typically focused in Port Richmond and the North Shore. Each year, we make free energy improvements to more than 100 homes that are owned or rented by low-income Staten Island residents. In addition to improving energy efficiency, when we're in there, weatherization also helps to address health and safety concerns in people's homes. We help approximately 200 residents each year with their housing needs or problems. It's actually more than that when we count the first-time home buyers that we help. We counsel homeowners at risk of foreclosure, first-time home buyers, those seeking home repairs, and really we do budgeting and consulting with anyone with any type of housing need or problem. Our foreclosure counselors have helped many clients actually remain in their homes. We help people with mortgage modifications and other resources that are available. Right now, we have the state created a new program, the HOF program, and that will provide some grant funds to people. It's actually a deferred grant, and it will help people get out of foreclosure, and that's especially important now. There's so many people who lost their income during COVID. So the fact that we're in the community and ready and able to provide this assistance or link people to this resource is really important. And, that really is an example of what we're able to do because we are in the community already. We recently helped 40 residents apply for the Home Assistance Program, funding program, the HOP program. We successfully attracted recently some investment in affordable housing when we secured New York Main Street program funds. We helped with the renovation of 128, 130 Port Richmond Avenue that is now open, and it provides 10 units of affordable housing in a mixed-use building on Port Richmond Avenue where there previously were no apartments in those buildings, something we're really proud of. We recognize that thriving communities require housing that's affordable to families who live and work here. And one response to affordable, stable housing in the community is the land trust model. We've been working a few years with the network in New York City, launching, community land trusts throughout the city. So we're seeking financial as well as creative support to develop a community land trust, which we've been working on that. We have a steering committee that meets, and we're all actually working with a consultant to help us develop a pro forma to move forward with developing homes and scattered sites for the community land trust. So the idea is that this will be a tool for affordable housing to prevent seniors from losing their homes to tax lien foreclosures and help low-income people, especially Black and Brown residents, build wealth and provide long-term affordable housing option here in Staten Island. We work with businesses and residents to build community pride with beautification efforts in Port Richmond, and we connect with the civic organizations to foster cultural activities. And in the recent past, we actually secured a New York State Brownfield Opportunity Area designation for Port Richmond Mariners Harbor. And I encourage you to check our website that tells a lot about that, that program. So the BOA study can be found there, and we continue to follow up on the recommendations of the BOA study, not only for affordable housing, but for other, you know, community improvement activities as well. And securing funding to maintain our service levels is a perennial challenge for us. We feel it's important for our organization to strive to bring resources to families and neighborhoods to improve the quality of life for people who live and work here. And general support helps us to continue to meet the ever-changing needs in our community. We look forward to continuing our work with the Borough President's Office to improve the quality of life here in Staten Island. That's
Thank you, Kathleen.
Sure.
Kathleen, can I just, quick question from me. The Community Land Trust, is that for, when you say you would be developing homes, would that be like regular, like single family homes or apartments or co-ops? What type of?
Really, you know, Community Land Trust really can be any of those things. And we're in the process now of looking at, you know, what the structure of the CLT will look like, and is that influenced by the type of housing we can develop, because there's really not a lot of city-owned property that can be developed, you know, for affordable housing here, not like in the other boroughs. And there's even not a lot of, you know, developer-owned property or privately owned property that is easy to translate. So we want to leave the options open that we would do any type of housing. But right now, in order to move forward in a positive way, we want to do the thing that, you know, Northfield has done before. We'll purchase houses that are possibly vacant and dilapidated, or even, you know, move-in condition. And the Community Land Trust will continue to own the land, and the homeowner will own the home. So yeah, we're looking at, in the immediate future, the short-term future, we're looking at existing single-family homes to do in a community land trust.
Okay, thank you. Do any other board members have any questions for Kathleen? Okay, moving right along. Next up is the St. George Theater. We have Tamara Kashevsky presenting. Tamara, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Marie. And thank you all for the opportunity to testify today on behalf of the St. George Theater. I'm Tamara Kashevsky. I am the St. George Director of Grants and Government Relations. So the St. George Theater is the largest performing arts center on Staten Island. We're dedicated to the restoration of the historic theater and its growth as a cultural and performing arts center for Staten Island, as well as for the greater community of New York City and New Jersey. Our vision is to bring world-class entertainment into the heart of our community, enrich our audiences through live performances in a unique and vital venue. Each year we host a free dance and theater educational workshop for 75 boys and girls, 10 to 12 full-day theater series performances, and we distribute thousands of complimentary tickets annually to underprivileged community members of all ages through our Night of Theater initiative. So our mission is to oversee the restoration of the theater, develop the theater as a multi-purpose performing arts facility, provide free dance training to underprivileged youth, generate audiences. We make the theater available for community-based and nonprofit group activities, and we connect local artists with audiences, and we are a cornerstone, we think, of the downtown area in Staten Island. So at this time, we're kindly asking for support towards 2 capital equipment purchases necessary to keep the SGT vital and current to industry standards. So $200,000 to support the purchase and installation of $250,000 to support the purchase and installation of a new LED lighting system from Borough President Fasella, and $200,000 to support the purchase of a Steinway Grand concert piano. And Marie, I'm going to get out ahead of you and say that the lighting system is $1.35 million in total. So we did make City Council and DCLA requests on that. The lighting system is necessary because the one we have right now is incomplete and it's out of date. Professional tours require much more lighting than we currently have and are able to, and they're specifically requesting LED lighting, which we do not possess. So compared with venues of other similar size, We only have what's called 13 movers, and industry standard is 30. Shows are consistently getting bigger. It's getting harder and harder to book performers without the required infrastructure. And obviously, pre-pandemic or post-pandemic, rather, we are still trying to get back on our feet in general. So not being able to book tours has an impact on bookings, ticket sales, audience enjoyment, quality of the performances, as well as our budget, because then we have to rent equipment. And this relates to the Steinway. So we're looking to buy a Steinway Model D 9-foot concert grand piano. We currently do not own a piano, and we rent one at least 20 times a year. So it's costing, $20,000, $25,000 annually when we're booking. In addition, my own history as a classical musician will tell you there are very, very, very few publicly available concert quality grand pianos on Staten Island. So to have one that's available in a space for local artists would be a great asset to the community. It would allow SGT to deepen our community-based mission to provide access to arts for local audiences and artists as well. So thank you for your time and for listening, and I'm happy to take any questions.
You answered my question, so I'm good. Does any of the other board members have any questions for St. George? Okay, moving right along. Okay, next we have On Your Mark. We have Jessica who is going to be presenting, so the floor is yours.
Oh, we actually had a PowerPoint just to show some visuals. Is Brooke able to share that at this time?
Brooke?
Is that okay?
Yes,
All right, cool.
sure. I'll share my screen. You are now the presenter.
All right.
Okay.
Yep, I'm gonna share it. Here we go.
Great.
Can everyone see?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Let me just
Yep.
from the beginning.
Thanks.
Beautiful. So good afternoon, early evening, everybody. My name is Jessica Caracciolo, and I'm the Director of Development at On Your Mark. We have a couple funding opportunities to present to you today, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, On Your Mark is a nonprofit that serves over 450 children and adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We provide a number of services, including day and community habilitation, respite, employment services, where we operate 6 businesses and employ individuals with IDD. And we're just so appreciative to go through some of the funding opportunities we've applied for this year. So first up is our music and dance program. This is essential to our individuals' physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Individuals have the ability to partake in our Glee Club. Kevin Clark, I see you on. There's a dance party where they can learn popular dances and songs, as well as party etiquette, cardio, dance and fitness, and music study. We have a mind and body program that focuses on mental and physical well-being by providing mindfulness training to our individuals. This includes sessions like Wind Down Wednesdays and Go with the Floga. Individuals learn self-regulation and coping mechanisms to deal with everyday catalysts. The program also focuses on physical fitness. Our PRIME program, which stands for People Receiving Individual Mature Experiences, strives to promote socialization, community involvement, volunteerism, and recreational experiences for our older adults. These can include planting, walks to the park, trips to the movies, bingo, arts and crafts, really anything that interests our individuals at that time. Our special athletics program, as you can see on the right, is a program that teaches our individuals the necessary skill sets to partake in a variety of sports with the hope of them competing in the Special Olympics one day. We also have an art program that's implemented in our day habilitation program, our respite program, as well as our residential services. As I mentioned before, many of our individuals are non-speaking, and art always does provide a creative outlet to those who need it most. Our projects have also become a major way for our individuals to stay engaged in a safe indoor setting during the pandemic. Our Project Teamwork program is implemented to recruit and compensate 15 high school and college students with an interest in helping individuals with IDD. Students are provided with the opportunity to learn more about the various therapies and gain experience in our world. And the last funding area we're discussing today is recruitment. I'm sure everybody on this call can agree that we've lost some staff. We lost about 50% of our workforce during the pandemic, and we've been focusing our time and resources on attracting new candidates as we are unable to fully reopen our programs to the maximum capacity. In the past, we were able to serve over 600 individuals, and now we're only about in the 400s. Excess funding would allow us to supplement our recruiting efforts by investing in paid advertising on social media, on job sites, as well as utilizing a partnership with the Staten Island ad vans. That's all I have for you today. As you know, the largest residential program on Staten Island, we are always looking for funding opportunities to provide the council members as well as our borough president's office. There's plenty of ways to get involved, and we do appreciate the support that we've gotten over the past few years. So thank you so much. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica.
So I think, you and I will talk the way that we normally talk
I was gonna, yep.
because most of this is really for us. We can't fund because we're not allowed to do salaries. So that's really geared towards the city council, a lot of
Sure.
this. But, we can, talk about finding other things that can work within the parameters that we're allowed to fund.
Absolutely. And the businesses, I know you, the borough president's office has typically done the supplementing our rent for the chocolate shop, obviously the cafe, we have novelties, so plenty of ways to get involved. We'll chat offline.
Okay. Do any of the other members have any questions for On Your Mark? Okay, thank you, Jessica.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, and last but not least, we have the Staten Island Philharmonic. We have Carolyn Clark here. Oh, sorry. Kevin, take it away whenever you're ready. Kevin,
Audio is very low.
okay. That's better.
Kevin, can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good, good. Staten Island Philharmonic Orchestra. Our mission is building community through music. And our way of doing that is we present large concerts with like 40 to 55 musicians, professional musicians, and concerts of music from diverse cultures, styles, and time periods. And we also offer educational program to listeners of all ages and abilities. We were founded in 2005 by Staten Island musicians, and we feel that we are the orchestra of, by, and for Staten Island. We are now in our 17th season. We present concerts various locations around the island, the Conference House, Snug Harbor, Alice Austin House, Zion Lutheran Church.
Kevin? Kevin, we can't hear you.
Still on mute. Yeah.
Kevin. Maybe if we put it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm sending it now.
Can we caption, close captions?
Does that help?
That was well done. You're really
Very
prepared.
good. Very good.
Yeah, boy, you're something.
Highlighters,
I
baby.
think he can hear either with the headphones on. I think that's the problem.
Like Wordle.
Does anyone know sign language?
He hasn't stopped talking.
He's almost done, he says.
Ray, do you have a number for them? I can call.
I don't have, I have for
Yeah, I just have the email.
Carolyn. I don't have
Right.
for,
Put that sign up. Maybe he'll wake up.
I figured if most of us,
He's reading off a script. That's why he's not looking at the screen.
and I think that his earphones are blocking out us.
I have Kevin's
Was I
cell phone
muted there for
number.
a second?
The whole thing.
Almost
didn't
the
hear
whole
anything you
thing,
said.
unfortunately.
We got it though. We got the idea.
For the first time this year, we have funding from CASA, the after-school program at Stapleton's PS 78. Because of COVID, the school does not have an instrumental program this year, so we are offering choral music and movement. If we are funded for fiscal year 23, we hope to help reintroduce instrumental music in the school. If you would like to hear the Staten Island Philharmonic, we'd love to have you come this Sunday, March 20th at 3 p.m. at the Hilton Garden Inn, 1100 South Avenue, where we'll be offering a tribute to our late musical director, Jose Alejandro Guzman, who passed away in March 2021. Because of COVID, the seating is limited, so we ask you to please go online to eventbrite.com and reserve your free tickets. We are particularly proud to feature, again, a world premiere by island composer Howard Fox. So, all things musical on Staten Island is what we strive to be, and combining people from all cultures here on the island and connecting them through the pleasures of music performed live. Are there any questions?
I do not have any. Does any of the board members have any? Okay,
Ooh,
thank
now
you,
I'm having trouble here.
Kevin. I would also like to thank the Staten Island Chamber of Commerce, a very special place, and also Crossroads for, they did not give testimony, but they did join on and participate. So thank you very much, ladies, for joining us. So for all of the presenters, you are free to go if you'd like to go. We're just going to finish up the board meeting with some internal housekeeping requirements that we have to do every month. So thank you guys very much for participating. I appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Tamara, how are you?
Have a good day. Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you. Okay, so now for the board members, Brooke was kind enough to send everybody a copy of the minutes. Can I just entertain a motion to accept those minutes, please?
I
Accept the
second.
minutes.
I
First.
second.
Robert second, thank you very much. We did not have any correspondence this month. Does anybody have any old business to bring up? Elena, you have a question? Oh, you second, sorry. Does anybody have any old business to bring up? Okay, no old business to bring up. Does anybody have any new business to bring up? Okay, under new business, I just have one quick thing. I'd like to wish our own Brooke Zaccone a very happy birthday, which was a few days ago.
Thank you so much.
Birthday, Brookie. Happy birthday.
Always doing a great job for us and always getting us our minutes in a timely manner and our agendas in a timely manner. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm sure the other board members greatly appreciate it.
The merits of
Brooks
Jimmy
the best,
Commander's
Brooks the
Palace.
best. Brooks the best.
Soon, we need to go.
Okay,
Okay, so now as our meeting finally is over and getting ready to wrap up, can I entertain a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to
adjourn.
adjourn.
Jerry first, Rob
Motion.
second. Thank you very much, everybody. We will see you next month in April.
Happy St. Pat's, everybody. Be careful.
Bye.
sorry about the confusion before.
That's okay, no
That's all right, Jim.
worries.
Glad you joined in.